Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church in Eugene. It's just such a joy to see you here. All of your faces and spirits are what make this place a community. My name is Jean DeVenny. I use the pronouns she and her. I'm a 73-year-old woman with short, mostly salt and pepper hair, wearing a green sweater and a scarf, and I am this morning's worship associate. A special shout out to those online. Wave to these guys. Yay! Via the Zoom platform, the worship team reads your chat comments. We value your input. We share your joys and sorrows, and we're so glad you're with us today. So those of you out on Zoom, light a chalice and settle in. Orders of service are available online or on our website or via the QR codes that you see on the walls around the building. The greeters can get you a copy, there we go, of the handy guide to Sunday worship. If you didn't pick one up on the way in, just put your hand up and they will get one to you. Okay, right over here. Anyone over here? Okay. If today is your first time here or you're still getting to know us, please join longtime congregants and staff in the welcoming room, also known as the South Foyer, right after the service. Grab a cup of coffee and a treat and make your way there during the social hour. So I have a few announcements. First, last night was our fundraiser auction across the universe. Yay. So I was going to say, be ready for applause because we brought in at least $17,000. Now, don't forget, our online auction stays open until May 10th. So if you weren't able to come last night or you didn't get something that you bid on, there are going to be things available online through that auction through the 10th of May. So just go online and find it on our website. And now, if you were one of the volunteers or if you attended or bought something, please stand up. Yay! Every act of service, every monetary bit, every part of your donated time and effort make this community possible. So thank each other. So now I want to invite you to settle in and know that whoever you are, whomever you love, and whatever your image is of the holy, you are welcome here, and it is good to be together. So let us begin by lighting the chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Sue Craig, who has been a UU since she was 19 years old, wandered into a service in Fort Collins, Colorado, and knew she'd found her people. So I'm going to share the inspiring words of Sarah Eileen Lawal, who's the minister at the Boise, Idaho UU Fellowship. Out of the flames of fear, we rise with courage of our deepest convictions to stand for justice, inclusion, and peace. Out of the flames of scrutiny, we rise to proclaim our faith with hope to heal a fractured and hurting world. Out of the flames of doubt, we rise to embrace the mystery, the wonder, and the awe of all there is and all there is yet to be. Out of the flames of hate, we rise with the force of love, love that celebrates our shared humanity. Out of the flames, we rise. And now let's say together the words of our mission, which affirm our shared purpose. Empowered by love, we transform ourselves and serve our world.
Good Sunday morning, everyone. I'm the Reverend Jen Youngsun. I'm glad to see all of you today. I use pronouns she and her. And for those of you who would like a visual description, I am wearing my hair in a ponytail today. I've got glasses and my bright blue stole. Congratulations on the auction, you guys. Very well done. Very well done. I really want to thank the volunteers, especially the planning team. Those are the people who have been thinking about the auction day and night, week after week, month after month. And so thank you all for your diligence and your planning. It worked out very, very well. So, yeah. We've got a lot to celebrate. So let's turn our hearts and minds now toward the sharing of joys and sorrows. Before the service and at any time you're here, you're always invited to write in our book or place a stone in water or light a candle. Zoom friends, you can also write into the chat your joys and sorrows, and if you do that, then I'll read as many of them as I can today. Let's begin with a little centering. O Spirit of life, eternal source of love, O mystery and wonder, we come before the altar of life to acknowledge its many, many gifts. Breathing in gratitude. So many things to be thankful for. And we come before the altar of life to also confess and to repair. Breathing in humility. We come to reveal the broken places in our hearts, and we come to remember that we belong to one another. Breathing in love. We come with prayers for a just world where peace can finally thrive. Breathing in peace. From our book of joys and sorrows, our friend Leslie Relly asks that you hold her in your loving care as she recovers from pneumonia. And I'm sure a quick phone call or a card will cheer her up. More prayers for peace on earth. There are prayers for the people of the world being able to choose the integrity of its leaders. There are prayers all over the world for ceasefire, for aid to Palestine, for the release of Israeli hostages, wishes for some solution. There is sorrow as we learn of the passing of a 37-year-old unhoused transgender Latino woman named Andrea, who was murdered while sleeping in a doorway. This happened in Miami, Florida. We have awareness of the more than enough truth of love, abundance, and freedom for all. We have joy here for family gathering at the coast. May all travel be safe for everyone. We have joys, of course, for upcoming graduations. This one is a graduation of my grandson from California Institute of the Arts. And there will be 8 of us, they write, to be there to celebrate. Wonderful. joys for the encouragement and joy and encouragement for the courage of the students at the University of Oregon and students all over the world standing up for their beliefs. And from our church on Zoom, our friend who is traveling in France says bonjour from Paris. Lots of good mornings and greetings. Someone says, thank you for this disability justice service. As a wheelchair user, I'm amazed by how many places that are not accessible to me even now, even in this year. Blessings on our friend John, who died last Friday, and for another friend who received a terminal cancer diagnosis. And a note of joy to end our time. My joy is finding a new UU community here in Eugene. My family moved here from Illinois in February for a fresh start. And one last entry, Dean Kohler has survived and been a positive force for good, remembering that he was shot at Kent State. Just when you think things are going to end on a positive note, and isn't life like that? It keeps bringing us more and more and more. It brings us all shape and manner of things. And so today we have a choice of how to receive those things of life. May we receive it with grace. Our prayers for peace and our prayers for the common good for all and thriving of all life on this planet continues every day that we gather, every day that we wake up. These are our prayers. May they be heard. Blessed be. Amen. I've mentioned before that I truly believe that humanity is in the midst of a great turning, coming out of centuries of an oppressive mindset, centuries of violent worldviews. We are slowly taking things apart and putting them back together in a way that allows more people and more beings to participate at the welcome table. History's treatment of people living with disabilities has run the gamut, demonizing, exterminating, segregating, institutionalizing, sterilizing. And yes, we have made progress too, but old and outdated beliefs still linger in the thoughts we harbor and in the stories we pass along. In many minds still, illness and disability are related to sin, impurity, evil spirits, and defect, rather than just being a dimension of human diversity. In Alice Wong's book, Disability, Visibility, she tells a story of a young woman living with a disease that took away her eyesight. Because she was taught from a very early age that God does not make mistakes, everything that God makes is perfect, and God corrects the imperfect, she prayed throughout her childhood, almost every single day. But after years of praying and aching for a miracle, she decided to stop. As an adult, she found a different story told by a different church that she attends still to this day. She no longer enters asking for eyesight. She enters singing and drumming. She enters saying, I come to church happy in the body that I exist in. I come to church knowing that I am not a mistake waiting to be fixed. I do not come to church with a heart that is begging for the most special part of me to change. I come to church happy and whole. I come to church free. The strength of community, like her church and I think like ours, rises from the sharing of life as people with radically different bodies and radically different brains. People who bless and cherish their own vulnerabilities as well as those of others, and people who relate to those vulnerabilities not as signs of failure, but as just another dimension of human diversity. 4 members of our community will come forward today to share their stories with us. We're going to start with Laura Marie Strawberry Nopolis, and then we'll hear from Ming Lai, Teresa Hawks, and then Brian Lewis.
Hi, I'm Laura Marie. I live in community, and I'm disabled. I have hypermobile joints, chronic pain, the autism, and multiple mental health diagnoses. My favorite fact about disability is that disabled people can't do some things, but can usually do other things, sometimes in amazing, creative ways. And we can be very blessed with compassion because of what we've endured. Also, another important fact about disability to me is that there are so many people who are stuck in group homes, institutions, jails and prisons, otherwise cut off from the rest of the world a lot of the time. So the more we can make spaces accessible, the more the people that we don't see every day can come and arrive to the community events like when churches meet, and activism and interests, so that we can all be at the table of humanity, not just abled people. So thank you for valuing disabled people like me, because disabled people are great to have around for diversity, just like people of many genders and racial ethnic backgrounds and class backgrounds. All of us coming together can make a beautiful melange of something that never existed before. So thank you for including me and providing access for disabled people as much as you can.
Hello, my name is Ming. Thank you for hearing me speak. I am disabled by narcolepsy. Regarding disability, everyone is going to be disabled or dead, so accepting the truth rather than resisting the eventuality futilely seems better and more aligned with reality. If we are out about being disabled, we can inspire other people to be out too and help each other. Being disabled allows me to do activist work like street medics and other mutual aid like Food Not Bombs that I otherwise would not be able to do. I contribute to society significantly and demonstrate there are ways to function other than capitalism. My worth is not determined by my ability to make money.
Good morning. I want to thank the Reverend Youngsun for allowing me to speak to you. I was not disabled at all until 2022. When I was born in 1956, I was so well I didn't need a doctor, and my family thought I would be well all of my life.
But in 2018, I got pneumonia. I thought, oh, no big deal. I'll get right over that. I mostly did. I didn't even mention pneumonia to my family, but that changed in 2022. I had a hemorrhagic and ischemic cerebellar stroke, which I did survive, and actually easily the doctors were shocked and thought I was a win. But, and this was due to my long bout of health and the fact that I exercised all the time, too frequently probably. I even found I had diabetes that required a complete change in my eating habits. I was able to do this because of discipline, but it took time. It took 2 years. Right now, I tire very easily. I have a certain amount of physical energy each day, but no more. My energy amount has gone down sharply, and it is a slope. I have a baseline increase in vertigo amount. This originates right up here in my brain. It also involves visual changes. There are no changes in my eyes, but there are changes in my visual brain. So I see a lot of square shapes that are variously colored. For instance, if I dance too much or if I move up and down too slowly, I am careful to move carefully. I also have trouble speaking when I wake up as often as not. I have to relearn to speak every morning. I never had that before. These are just some of my capacity changes. They affect me. With respect to any disability, people who have had them all their lives or people who never have them, I have discovered that you have to be able to talk truth to people about whatever your physiological status happens to be. I am not an impervious person health-wise anymore. I am limited now, and I have to live within those limitations. It is humiliating to me, but it is freeing me only if I get to speak the truth, and this is one of those places. And to Rev Jen, she is one of those people to whom I can speak the truth. Thank you all.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Lewis, and I've been an active member of our church since 1979. Though I left the area in 2017, I continue to attend services via Zoom and follow our gatherings on YouTube. Today, I want to share some personal challenges I face due to dyslexia, memory issues, and ADHD, and experiences that resemble aphasia, although it has not been formally diagnosed. These are not just abstract conditions. They significantly impact my everyday interactions and activities. For example, remembering names can be a significant hurdle for me. Just the other day, I struggled for nearly a minute to recall a name. This happens more often than you might think and can be quite embarrassing in social situations. Even searching a name in my own phone list to conduct my real estate and personal business can be a challenge as I struggle to recall the names I need to look up. Another common issue I encounter, which is similar to aphasia, involves finding the right words when speaking. Imagine helping your spouse in the kitchen, managing all the dinner preparations. Often I find myself unable to quickly recall a specific word, like garlic. Moreover, my dyslexia often lead to frequent and sometimes humorous spelling errors. I routinely type there with an IE instead of an ER. And I consistently misspell business as businesses. While these might seem minor, they are constant reminders of the challenges I navigate daily. These experiences are why I'm such a huge advocate for practical aids like name badges. They might be easy to forget to wear, but they make a significant difference in helping me connect names and faces without the usual stress or embarrassment. I share these aspects of my life with you not for sympathy, but for understanding and perhaps to foster greater patience and support within our community. We all face different challenges. Recognizing and accommodating them makes us a stronger, more welcoming community. We are a perfectly imperfect being. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. For the past 60 years, the social perspective and the treatment of people with disabilities has focused on independent living and self-determination. And while these things are good, we know also that too much emphasis on independence and the myth of self-sustainability has left a lot of people way too isolated. Communities of people with and without disabilities must be part of the great turning. How many of you have ever heard of LARCH? L apostrophe and then big A-R-C-H-E. So for about 60 years, they have been working for a world where people with and without intellectual disabilities are friends and equals. I love their mission statement. There are 3 large homes in the Portland area, and when I first learned about them, I just assumed that the people without disabilities were helping to care for and support the ones with disabilities. And maybe their model started like that years ago, but today, their model is that everybody lives together in community as housemates and friends and equals. So residents who need extra care and they have special needs, they get that from outside of the house. UUCE is also a community of people living with and without disabilities as friends and as equals, showing the world that disability is just one organic part of what it means to be human. Disability activists, like the members of our church's Accessibility Task Force, the ATF, have been some of the strongest leaders for interconnecting issues of disability, race, poverty, gender, queerness, capitalism, war. Our Accessibility Task Force is just as committed to homelessness and transphobia and climate change as they are to disability, because they know all of these things are connected. I hope that you noticed that their flyer for their upcoming event. It's going to be on Thursday, May the 16th at 4 p.m. It's a hybrid in-person and on Zoom event featuring the Reverend Amanda Schuber. She is the UUA's Disability Justice Advocate or Associate, I think is her title. And so if you're able, please come in person or online that day, and let's continue the conversation that we've started today. You and I, we know that we are moving into times that promise even more uncertainty and vulnerability. The work that we face together as a justice-making, love-expanding faith community will push us further into solidarity with our neighbors and with our community partners. Now let's say our closing words together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And as you go, please remember to take a few minutes to greet your neighbors, especially the ones you haven't met yet. Go in peace, everyone. Go in love.